Hi guys, it's Luton here, and following on from my video with Desker, I'm still thinking about the next generation of consoles and what they mean for Battlefield 4. Now, me and Desker talked extensively about competitive and all of those elements and the things that could change, what it might mean for Battlefield 4 as a series, but I want to widen that a little bit and think about other elements that are coming in. Now, there's been a lot of talk about 64 players for the consoles, and there's also been talk about 60 frames per second. Now, it's not confirmed, but I think everyone feels that it's a very, very strong possibility. I think everyone would fair to say it's just kind of been, it's unconfirmed, but, it's basically there. I'm really sort of thinking about what this is going to mean for the game type. For one thing, I think it's going to be great to have just that general level of consistency across the whole board. Something that's been regularly stated for me, not all the time, I have to say, because a lot of my PC viewers tend to be quite kind of open-minded, and they sort of take on board some of the points that I make in my tactical videos, and they go, okay, he said this, and we can kind of elaborate on that when it comes to player counts for, the games that we're playing. But something that's going to be really awesome is that if we have that increased player count, which I feel confident that we will, it's going to mean that the kind of production of videos and just general media is going to be so much more consistent, which means that everybody can enjoy it across the whole board a lot better. And that's only going to do one thing: that's going to strengthen and grow the brand of Battlefield. The other thing that I think is really excellent is the fact that the new consoles, both I think Xbox and PlayStation 4 definitely does. I think Xbox does, but I didn't remember seeing the element about it. But yes, they both have the ability to kind of share clips and videos from that. And also, let's not forget there's the whole battle recorder aspect, which would only contribute to that. And the fact that people are going to have this ability, you won't require obviously a kind of PVR or like an Elgato Game Capture pass-through to actually capture that footage. You'll be able to do it straight from your console. And again, what's that going to mean? Well, it's going to mean we're going to have the ability to kind of push more video content media out there. Again, strengthening Battlefield 4, making it even more of a presence within the the genre and the area of first-person shooters. And Battlefield is already growing to such a strong title within that whole area. And I've got to tell you, I've said before, I used to be a Call of Duty player. It's obvious that you've got to compare that really, because they're the two major players within that sort of arena of first-person shooter for consoles anyway. Obviously, there's other titles floating around which refer specifically to PC, but again, when we're thinking about next-generation consoles, they don't really come into the fray. But, Battlefield continues to grow, and it sort of builds on what has already been there. I think that's a good lesson as well throughout the whole series of Battlefield, is that it always has grown and built strongly on what was already there. Unlike some others, and I say not specific to anyone, there's a lot of series which often don't do, and I'm not talking specifically about first-person shooters here either, there's a lot of series in general which maybe don't really build the best on what they already had. They rehash rather than actually sort of objectively build on what they had there. And I think Battlefield really do build on what they have there. It's another reason why I'm not so concerned. People have said, oh, well, the Frostbite 3, it hasn't really evolved greatly. And, again, I think you have to be kind of open-minded and objective there and sort of think, well, they can't completely evolve the entire engine every single time, but from what we've seen, and if you haven't watched it, go watch my Frostbite 3 video where I broke down the discussion that we had when we went to the event in Stockholm, and I took audio notes at the time so I could feed back really specific information for you guys. So I'll actually put that in the notes here. If you haven't seen that video, you want to go check it out and hear about Frostbite 3. So with that in mind, again, it shows that yes, they've taken constructively what they had and built on it. So with all of this in mind, I really feel like the next generation consoles, it's not just a case of making the game better, but it's making it better for everyone. It's building that experience, and it means that people's experiences are going to be more comparable. Console players will be able to actually now talk to PC players and have comparable experiences, which means that everybody can learn better, everyone can have better games, and overall I think it will help strengthen the community, because I do feel like the Battlefield community has slipped and slided kind of here and there over the time of Battlefield 3. I only talked this week whilst I was playing. I wasn't too happy about it, and I felt like, Battlefield 3 has been getting very, very frustrating lately with the way that people play and the things that people do. And it does come down, obviously, to a bit of boredom. The game's been out for quite a long time. People are kind of like, what do we do anymore, And I feel that, you know, hopefully soon, it's only a few more months, and then Battlefield 4, we're going to be right back into that really hard objective play. Everybody's really going to get in the mix. You know, there won't be more, you know, boredom of people screwing around. People are going to want to just get back on and get in the fight. And so I'm really, really looking forward to that. And as I say, I just think it'll be a great chance for everybody to kind of properly get in the mix this time, have a shared comparable experience across the board. But let me know what you think. I want to hear what you guys think. As always, you know that I will reply to your comments, read all your comments, and I'll try and get back to you. And if I have maybe 3 or 4 very good comments, if you guys can actually think of something interesting and, you know, different to say, I don't want to hear the same kind of, oh, I'm looking forward to 64 players, oh, I'm looking forward to this, I'm looking at, you know, try and think of something that hasn't been said before, or something that you would like to see that maybe hasn't been mentioned, any of these things. I've had some very, very good contributions on my other videos, like, for example, the bleed out suggestion, which was mentioned in one of my other videos, and some of these other things, some of the class suggestions that we've had before. I'm not asking for a wish list, I'm not asking for that. What I'm asking for is more kind of what you're looking forward to with the next generation consoles, even if you're a PC player as well. I mean, maybe you're a PC player and you feel like it's frustrating for you that you haven't been able to compare your experiences properly with console players, or maybe when you've tried to explain things to people, you feel like they haven't been able to understand because they haven't had that shared experience. I've had that as well. You know, people have said, oh, well, you know, this and this happened, but you won't really be able to understand because you haven't had that same experience. So again, with that in mind, I'll look forward to reading it. As I say, if I can get 3 or 4 really good comments, maybe I'll make a follow-up video from that, and I'll break down and talk specifically about a couple of those points. Thanks for watching today, guys. Look forward to your comments. As always, if you've enjoyed it, please rate and share. And I'll see you next time for some more Battlefield thoughts and discussion.